What's going on, guys? It's Zero bringing you another Call of Duty Ghost gameplay. This time we're playing Kill Confirmed on Overlord, I believe it is. And I do end up dropping a Kim in this game. And just to warn you guys now, there are a couple jump cuts in the video. It was a situation where, I'd ran clear to the opposite side of the map and couldn't find anybody to kill, and then my teammates started spawning on me. So instead of forcing you guys to watch a 10-minute video with 3 minutes of me running back and forth trying to find a kill, I just decided to do a couple jump cuts so that I could keep the gameplay somewhat interesting. Well, today we're going to talk about the evolution of a Call of Duty player, and I'm using myself as the impetus for this. But I think that all Call of Duty players follow roughly the same evolution. There may be slight variations, but I think that we've all went through these phases. If you disagree with what I'm saying here, just let me know in the comments. But the first phase of Call of Duty is wide-eyed amazement, pretty much. I mean, you've probably heard from your friends how great this Call of Duty game is, so you decide to check it out. Maybe it's your first shooter, maybe you've played Halo before, or something similar. So, when you first start playing this game, it is the most fun that you will ever have in a Call of Duty game. You'll be getting your ass kicked, you'll get 1 to 2 kills, 3 or 4 possibly in a match, and it's the greatest thing ever. I mean, I use my buddy's girlfriend as an example here, and I think it was in Black Ops 1. She decided she wanted to try playing because she'd watched him play so often, and every time she would get a kill, the party would just erupt with laughter because she would get so giddy, she would giggle. I mean, it was just the greatest thing in the world when she got a kill. And it was partially because it was funny, and it was also partially because we all remembered what it was like to be there, and remembered just the sheer unadulterated joy of getting a kill when you first start playing this game. And I mean, if Call of Duty could stay, if it could stay that fun throughout your entire Call of Duty career, then this game franchise would sell like a billion units every single game that comes out. Because that honestly is, the first time I played Call of Duty, I started playing Call of Duty on Black Ops 1. And it was the most fun I've ever had in a video game. I mean, out of all the video games I've played, and I started out on an Atari. I had a day one Nintendo Entertainment System. So I've been playing video games for a long time, and still to this day, the absolute most fun I've ever had playing a video game was when I first started playing Call of Duty. I mean, it was a blast. Every kill was just a huge victory, and I honestly wish that I could have, that I could stay in that mindset, being that happy about getting a kill, not worrying about everything that happens in the game, all the quote-unquote bullshit. It's a really good phase to be in. But after that phase comes, the KD whoring and the camping. People will start to equate that having a good KD in a match means that you did well in a match, and that's not always the case. For example, if you go 8-2 in a TDM, then you've got a 4.0, and if your team loses, you may be thinking, well, hey man, I had a 4.0. That's not my fault we lost that map. We lost that match. But if you're anchoring your team in a very bad spawn, and they just end up, spawning in a horrible spawn over and over, then it very well could be your fault that you lost that match, even though you did have a 4.0 KD. Now, a lot of people seem to get stuck in this phase. KD becomes the golden calf. It becomes the almighty end-all be-all. And people, a lot of times, don't progress past this phase. They'll be happy with their 9-3 or their 8-4 or maybe even their 10-2. And that's where they stay. They don't really have any desire to get better because in their minds, well, we're not losing because of me. I'm doing well. I've got a 5.0. It's all these other people that made us lose the game. And that's not a very good phase to be in. It annoys other players, and it just really stunts your growth horribly as a Call of Duty player to be stuck in this phase. But, I'm not even going to say that some people get stuck in this phase. I'm going to say that most people that play these games get stuck in this phase. And after you're camping for a while, then you're going to start getting counterplayed. People are going to start pre-firing where you're camping. They're going to be a lot more alert. And then you enter the first rage phase, where every single time that you die is bullshit. Oh, how'd that guy know I was there? Or, oh, why did he come around the corner spraying like that? Or, things of that nature. And a lot of people, I guess I should have kind of combined this with the KD whoring phase, because a lot of people are stuck in this phase as well. I mean, just look at how many rage videos there are out there. It's ridiculous how angry people get at this game. But, the rage phase is definitely kind of a part of the KD whoring phase. And a lot of people get stuck in that. They don't really progress. Now, the next phase after that is possibly watching YouTube videos. When I first started watching YouTube videos of Call of Duty, I would watch people like, the Mark of J and Sandy Ravage and Hutch and Sea Nanners. People who didn't camp, people who ran around the map. Guns for Hire was another big one that I watched. People who would run around the map, they would do really well. It would seem like that they could just dominate their opposition at all times. So people will watch these popular YouTubers, and then they'll think, well, hey man, I can do that. And then they'll start rushing. They'll rush around the map. They'll do it blindly. They won't understand what routes to take. They don't understand spawn points. They don't understand hot spots. So they just end up getting killed over and over and over and over again. And, in my rushing phase, when I first tried rushing, it was frustrating. It was extremely frustrating. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way now, guys. I was a rager. I still, to this day, will rage sometimes. I try not to. I understand it doesn't help my gameplay, but I think that everybody who plays this game, unless you're on a permanent, Valium subscription or prescription, is going to rage. Well, that was part one. I think I'm going to make this a 2-part series. Well, guys, until next time, this is Zero saying, I'll catch you on the flip side.